Hey, what is going on, Hustle Buddies? Welcome back to another day of our 15 days of sourcing. This has been a really fun sort of challenge for myself. See if I can hop on every single day for 15 days straight and just do some live sourcing for you guys. Find a couple of profitable products that you can flip, talk about how I found them. And all of this is leading up to our massive Q4 sourcing camp. There's a QR code over there on that side of my face. Sourcing Camp is it starts on September 6th, but tickets are available now. It's sort of like an e-conference where for 10 days, there's going to be 22 camp counselors. Think of these like experienced Amazon sellers who are all going to come in and do breakout sessions sourcing for us. It's like we're going to go to the store with these people and watch over their shoulder and pick their brains and ask them questions, along with get a bunch of SOPs, get a bunch of ungating guides, get a bunch of just all this extra material that will prepare us and get us set for crushing Q4. This is like, I've been a part of a lot of different Q4 groups, both educational, both like lead list based, and I just didn't really like anything that was out there, so I pulled together a bunch of my friends and we're doing something better. So that's why I'm doing all of these for free for you guys here on our Facebook group and on YouTube, because I'm giving you a little taste of what it's going to be like, where we're going to be hopping on every single day during sourcing camp. There's usually about 6 hours of sourcing every single day. It's so much sourcing, guys. I love it. And it's all recorded because who in their right mind is going to show up? I think I have scheduled 45 hours of sourcing content. Who the heck in their right mind is going to actually be able to show up for 45 hours of sourcing content? Yeah, so it's all going to be recorded for you guys so you can go back to it later. All right, I'm going to be doing some interesting sourcing today here for you. I'm going to show you something. We're going to start with something that's a little bit more manual. I am going to use just a couple of tools that help speed up this process that are really cool. They're tools that I'm trying out. I'll be talking about them during camp. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys something. It's mostly manual. This will be it's a pretty simple way to like start a sourcing day. I was reading some comments. People are like, man, like I just spend so much time looking for stuff and I just find nothing. I totally get it. We've all been there. Sourcing is a learned skill. It's an acquired thing. You don't start day one being good at sourcing. Everybody sucks at sourcing, okay? So hopefully I can equip you with a couple methods, even just during these free videos. I'm gonna equip you with a couple methods. My dog is breaking into my office. Equip you with a couple methods that you can easily start a sourcing day so you get a couple of those easy first wins that will give you the motivation to keep going, okay? All right, as I'm going, if you guys have any questions, you have any issues, you don't know what I'm talking about, you want me to do something else, you have an unrelated question, whatever you need, I'm gonna be here for the next this will be a shorter one, so probably like 15, 20 minutes, but I'm all yours for the next 15, 20 minutes if you guys have questions or issues. Okay, let's dive into it. So, oftentimes when I am, let me share my screen here. When I am starting a sourcing day, I will start it on a cashback website. So this is a site, it's called Rakuten. If you're not signed up for Rakuten, ask me for my link because Rakuten will pay, they give me like, I don't know, $5 or something. And I think they give you $5. It's a nominal amount of money, but if you want Rakuten to buy me a cup of coffee, feel free to use this. And it's completely free to sign up. That's what I love about this. These are click-through cashback portals. If you're unfamiliar with that, it's basically you sign up for Rakuten and then Rakuten is advertising these other websites for us. Whoop, my computer's having a seizure here. Rakuten is advertising these other websites for us. And as a payment for that, these websites will then kick back a small portion to Rakuten. So Rakuten is giving us, for example, 10% cash back from Ulta. Ulta's giving them some money on top of that, which is why they're incentivized to do this without us paying anything. So this is 10% cash back that is unrelated to any of these websites, for example. And so it can be stacked on top of sales, on top of coupons, on top of credit card rewards. If you're doing the credit card stacking game, you can purchase your thing with your credit card and get cash back on the credit card and also get the cash back from Rakuten. You can double dip with this cash back. So super cool. You should be, if you're doing OA, you should be using a cashback portal on every single purchase that you make. The only exception is if it's like a really hole in the wall website that doesn't offer cashback. That would be the only exception, okay? You should always be doing this. It is literally free money, okay? Now, the reason why I like starting here is because this gives me a good idea of here are some websites where I have some built-in margin that maybe other people aren't utilizing, because especially beginners, guys, if you're a beginner and you're trying to think like, okay, I got to outcompete all the other beginners, this is an easy way, because a lot of beginners don't use cashback portals. They just don't know about them. Okay, so right off the top, let's say you go to a site like, we're gonna use Ulta for our example today. Right off the top, if you're a beginner and you think of your competition as other beginners and they are not using cashback, you have a built-in 10% extra margin on everything that you buy. So something where they might see 10% profit, you might see 20% profit, okay? So this is gonna be massive. It gives us a great place to start if you're just feeling lost in an ocean. I don't really recommend starting at a place like Walmart because it's just too big. It's like trying to fish in the middle of the ocean. These websites down here, this is like fishing in a smaller lake, okay? All right, so we can go to Ulta. Now, there's a couple subsequent ways that we could sort of come at this. And I do have a tool. I'll be talking about this more in Sourcing Camp, but it's pretty cool. I was just talking to the guy who made it, and I actually completely misunderstood what this tool did. So this guy, he made a tool, it's called Quick Lists. And for a while, I thought that this was a leads list slash a email aggregator. And yes, they do offer both of those things, and both of those things are great, and they work well, and they're cool, and check them out. But they have this super cool Chrome extension where it will search a page that I'm on, if it's a supported page, which they support a lot of stores. I'll show you what I mean. So let me check here with Rakuten. So we've got the 10% cash. Sometimes Rakuten will also show us that they've got these other like sales and coupons and things like that. So right here, like we could click get this deal, and it's gonna bring us to the Ulta page where it's buy one, get one 40% off, okay? So we have buy one, get one 40% off. So an easier way to do that math is just think of every product as being 20% off, as long as we are buying it in increments of 2, okay? Now, on top of that, we are also receiving 10% cash back from Rakuten, and this is in addition to whatever we spend. So whatever your, like when you finally check out and you put your payment method in, whatever you spent at Ulta, you will receive 10% back from Rakuten, okay? So this very first one, I'm gonna show you this tool, this Quick Lists tool. You can leave it blank, but if you have a coupon, so for example, we've got buy one, get one 40% off. So you can input that, that you're getting 20% there. And then we also have the 20% cash back. So let's save this. And this should, there we go, enable it. This should start reading this page, and you're gonna see something really cool. This is the part that I did not know until about a week ago when I was talking to their owner, and he sort of corrected my misunderstanding for what Quick Lists actually did. It pulls up Amazon searches for every single one of these without me having to like copy or paste or look at anything else, anything like that. This is such a great tool for reverse sourcing. It's not required, so don't think of this as like, there's another tool I have to buy. Nope, if you are bootstrapping it, if you have a small budget, everything that I'm doing here, you can manually do. It just takes you a little bit longer, but you can absolutely do this manually, okay? To do it manually, you just highlight this, copy, paste, put it over into Amazon and search it over there. Now, with this, it has searched. So these things in orange, these are the keywords that it has searched, and these are the results that have popped up. I would say that this one looks to be a pretty good match. Healthy hydration, Ulta Beauty. Oh, that's actually not Ulta. Let me click on this. I thought this was a match at first glance, but it might not be, or it could be a packaging change. Let's check it real fast. I'll slow it down, and we'll check this on Amazon. Oftentimes, beauty and grocery is really, this is really common in grocery. They'll just get new packaging. Nothing has actually changed. It's the same exact thing. Ulta Beauty under eye patch, 15 pair. Okay, I see the Ulta Beauty Now right there. Healthy hydration under eye patches. All right. Let me zoom in on this. Ulta Beauty Collection, Wake Up Under Eye Patches. All of that is a match. There are no UPCs on Ulta, so we're never going to get like a perfect UPC match. Let's see if it says 10 individually wrapped pairs. This is 15, so that is not a match. Oh, bummer. I was hoping that would be a match. Well, I mean, you'll run into that from time to time. But that's what we're looking at, okay? So you can go through these. I looked through a lot of these other ones. Most of them were a mismatch. This one might be good. It might be a packaging change if you want to look into that one a little bit further. I didn't see much on this page. I went to, so Ulta has another sale going on. And this goes in conjunction. I had some requests, I believe yesterday or maybe 2 days ago. I always ask people, and I'll ask you guys also here, what kind of sourcing would you like to see me do? What kinds of products or what kinds of methods, what kinds of tools? What do you want to see? How can I show you something interesting or dive deeper into something that you are a little bit unfamiliar with, okay? So I believe it was yesterday someone was asking about big ticket items, because it's easy to make videos about these like little like grocery products, these beauty things. Like there's thousands of these every day. They're so easy to find, and that's why you see so many examples. But bigger ticket items tend to be a little bit harder to find, and there's some other nuances involved. So I found one for you guys that I think is decent at first glance. I'm going to show you how I did it. So once I finished on this page, and I thought this was a match. I was wrong, but I did think this was a match. I checked everything else. Once I was done with this page, it's like, okay, let me see their other sales. So I went back to my Rakuten thing, and I saw that they had, or maybe it was actually the other, it was the other page. In this like sale section right on their website, they list their coupons. And so I saw that they're running this 20% off sale for all of their styling stuff. It's like, oh, okay, sweet. So let me go back and let me look for some styling tools. And if you notice right here on the home page, there we go. There's a big orange thing, 20% off these hair styling things. Like, okay, perfect. Now remember, this is also in addition to the 10% back we're getting from Rakuten. Okay, so this very first one, I did not go very deep on this. If you guys would like to rabbit trail, which I highly recommend if you're interested in more like higher ticket things, always double check to see if you are ungated in some of these brands. I don't believe Dyson. I don't think that people can sell Dyson. But Shark Beauty is one that is sellable on Amazon. There's lots of people that are selling Shark Beauty products. And this appeared to be a match to me. So I'm going to pull this up. Now we see regularly our buy cost is $299. And this is going to, if we give it just a second, it's going to load the thing here. This is the quick lists that I'm using. My computer's going a little bit slow today. There we go. So I'm buying it for $299 and we're selling it at $294. So it's like, okay, well, is there really a profit? Well, if we account for these coupons, yes, there is some. Now, with big ticket items, you have to think about them fundamentally differently. Because if you're coming at things and you're like, okay, I have to be getting, like Nate said, I need to look for 100% ROI, and it's got to be getting $5 of profit. It's got like, those things go out the window when you're looking at items that cost like $200, $300, okay? Selling one $200 product and making 30, 40 bucks on it is the same as, sorry, Ava, I'm on a video right now. Hi, we'll see you later.
Not look like
Can you close that door? And go to bed. Good night. I'm on a video right now, Ava. Good night. I'm on a video right now. Good night. Love you. Love you. Hang on, I'll be right back, guys. Yeah, I know. See you later. Have a good night. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, when you're looking at something that costs like $300 or $400 and you're making 40 bucks on it, like that 40 bucks, when you compare that to like, okay, I would have to sell 20 of those cans of soup in order to make that same $40. Like fundamentally, they just work out differently, which is why some people love big ticket items and some people hate it. There's no right or wrong way to do Amazon. There's a million ways to make $1 million. I'm trying to show you a bunch of different ones. Okay. So right here, we've got this. Now I'm going to pull this up on Amazon and we are going to run some numbers on this to see if it makes enough sense for us to buy. Okay. So assuming that we can sell it, and there are a lot of third-party sellers on this, so I know that it is sellable. I know that it's possible to get ungated in this. Some people will probably be automatically ungated in this. So I know all of those things just based on the number of sellers down here. I see this new offer count, so we're good to go there. This is something that you should be safe to sell. When we input this, we're going to put $2.99. We can multiply this. This is just my calculator. You can use any kind of calculator you want. We're going to multiply that by 0.8. So that's our 20% off. Okay. And this gets us down a little bit. But when we start including the cash back, this is where things get a little bit more interesting. Now, when I run my calculations, I am accounting for quite a bit of extra things. So like I'm adding in a couple months of storage fees, which is a part of this. I'm adding in a lot of the shipping fees, all of that stuff. Let's say that you sold this FBM where you're not shipping it into Amazon and your fees are a little bit less, okay? So you put $248 over there for your FBM. This is gonna cost you, honestly, it's not gonna cost you $14. It'll probably cost you about $8 to ship this, okay? We're looking at about almost $30 of profit. So that's low, like the ROI, this is a low percentage ROI, but we're talking about products that cost $300, $400, okay? And this is literally just the first example. It's not even the best example. I don't even know if this is a great example. It's like, this is fine. If you like big ticket things, this is the kinds of things that you're going to end up looking at, okay? And this is how we are finding products. So we can go through this Ulta list. Maybe we can find one more thing for you guys. Let's actually see if we can find this limited edition pink one. I don't see any of these that look pink. I wonder if this has no, that doesn't have a pink variation. Let me try this. I'll copy and paste this over to Amazon, do things a little bit more manually. Oh, and actually, let me go back just in case it's not in home and kitchen as well. Yeah, I'm looking for this pink one. I don't, whoa, no, it's a different brand. Foxy, no, different brand. Yeah, it doesn't exist on Amazon. So we're gonna move on, go to the next one. If you, so again, I said this yesterday, like part of getting better at sourcing is understanding when to pass and move on to the next product. So that right there is like, let's pass, we're gonna move on to the next product. All right, yeah, I don't believe that we can sell Dyson. I don't remember ever seeing a Dyson listing that had more than one seller on it. So we're gonna skip those. Let's see, this one, these are all going to be like, your profit is purely based on the 20% off and the 10% off. So whatever, if you get enough there, then it's great. $2.99, $2.99. If I can find one of these where it's priced higher than the MSRP, that's ideally what I'm looking for. Yeah, not there, not there. I'm looking for something that's above the MSRP. If these are all strikeouts, I have one last little tip. And like, this is something that I like to show as well, and I'm glad that people can see this. I think it's inauthentic and it's unfair to only show people finding winners. Like, oh, it's so easy to find products. And yes, you will get better at this, and it does get significantly easier over time to source, but you will still spend a lot of time finding duds, finding stuff that isn't a good buy. Skip the Dysons. Yeah, so far I have not seen anything that is where the sell is higher than the MSRP of this website. Yeah, nothing so far, but I do have one more trick in the pocket. And again, it's something I'll be diving in much deeper on during sourcing camp, but I'll give you guys a little taste. I'll show you a little early. That one's even actually less expensive on Amazon than on here, even after coupons. I'll check 4 more products, and if that doesn't work, then we will switch things up. $4.99, $4.99, $1.99, $1.99, $2.99. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, with big ticket items, a lot of times you're dealing with some of those cashback things. And actually, I was talking to someone. They are one of the camp counselors for Sourcing Camp is going to do a bonus session for credit card hacking, and talk about things like that. There's a way that you can actually turn your Rakuten points, that 10% cash back, you can actually transfer that to one of the credit cards has a partner thing with it. So you can transfer it to those points, and then you can transfer those points to say like Hyatt or something like that. So that 10% actually becomes like 20 or 30% after you've transferred points around based on how you utilize it. Just the way that the points game works. If you're in the points game, you know exactly what I just said. If you are not, if you don't do credit card hacking and you don't know what this, like, what's the points game, we're going to be talking about that as one of the bonus sessions. There's really interesting stuff for how to multiply your cash back and utilize it. Okay, so unfortunately, I didn't find anything better than what we found. These were like, okay, I wouldn't love it. I don't do a whole lot of big ticket stuff myself. But the people I know that do big ticket items, like this is usually what they're playing with. Buying something for, say, 200, selling it for 270, 280, 300, and making a marginal profit there. Usually lower ROI, but it's a larger number because they're high ticket stuff. Okay? All right. Now, my ace in the pocket. Yeah, Randy says over in Facebook, heck, us counselors show Finding Deads. Not everything works out, but each time it speeds up the next time. Exactly. Yeah. All right. So I'm going back to the main page here of Ulta. And I'm so glad that I happened upon this. I totally forgot about this event. I need to mark it down on my calendar because it's really, really good. There is this tiny little thing at the top left of my corner that says 21 Days of Beauty is coming. Preview the sale. This 21 Days of Beauty sale is phenomenal. The sales are so good. Now, a lot of people hit them, so there is a decent amount of tanking. But if you go in understanding that a lot of people will be hitting it and that there will be some initial tanking, you can make some smarter decisions and go after things early in the morning before they sell out, because during the sale, a lot of stuff sells out. So what you can do, click on this 21 Days of Beauty and do some pre-scanning. For the most part, everything that you see here will be 50% off on these specific days. So like on August 30th, these 4 things will be 50% off. On 31st, these 4 things will be 50% off. So you can go in here and let's say you're looking for some MAC lipstick, okay? Let's pop over into Amazon. Let's see some MAC lipsticks. And let's see what they're going for. Okay, so I see this one. It's sold 100 times in the past month for $25. If our buy cost is 15, and this is before CAC, this is before any other like stacked coupons or anything, any credit cards, anything, we know that like the base price instead of being $30 is going to be $15. There should be a little bit of meat on the bone here. Not a ton, but when it's selling 100 times a month, like you could sell a lot of these. Let me just run a quick calculation here to see. And also we see these related products. Ooh, this one would be good. That's going for 31. So that I know that'll be good and profitable in a couple days. All right, let's pop in here. $15, and that's before other discounts, things like that. Yeah, we're making $3, 20% ROI. It's okay. I might pull the trigger on this, but this is like our starting point. This is sort of where we go in to check. Yeah, usually Amazon's selling it for 25, so you'll make a little bit of money, but I really like this down here. because it's selling for 31. So if this one is included in that sale, and most of these lipsticks will be, if this is included in that sale and we're buying it for $15, let's run these calculations real fast. We should make some good money. So I love to do this pre-sourcing a couple days beforehand, so I know what I want to buy, and I will set an alarm like early in the morning. I'll wake up early. I will have my order all set and ready. Like, okay, here's the 20 ASINs or 30 ASINs that I'm going to be buying, and here's how many I want to buy. I'll pre-do all of that scouting, and that's what I buy. So I wake up, okay, here's the items, click 20, click 10, click 5 of those, 7 of those, whatever, like whatever you're buying, it's already preset. So you wake up early in the morning, you get it before they're sold out, and then you are good to go. So this one, yeah, you're making good money, almost $8 a profit, a little over 50% ROI. It has great sales velocity, a very steady price as well. One little pro tip right here where it says the new price, anytime you see new and you don't see, there's the buy box. If you see new and you don't see the buy box, this new cost is usually an FBM person, and Keepa cannot, it's just unable to pull the shipping cost of an FBM listing. So sometimes you'll see that new price, it's like, oh, it's only 26. Well, it's probably 26 plus like $7 of shipping. All right. But here we see the buy box. It's up at 30 right now. I see it fluctuate. It frequently goes up to 30. So this is not unusual. I can check last Q4 around January. Yeah, around January it was going for 28 to 30. Spiked up here to about 34 for a little bit when the seller count came down. But yeah, overall, it looks pretty solid. This 21 days of beauty sale is phenomenal. We will be talking about this at least once, if not multiple times during sourcing camp. Yeah, I'm happy that I spotted this. I totally forgot that this was happening, and it happens to coincide perfectly with sourcing camp. You see right here, September 6th, this is the first day of sourcing camp. So we've got a couple solid days that we can sort of pre-scout and talk about during camp. All right. Okay. If you have any questions, if you have any questions about anything that I did, let me know in the chat. If you have anything you want me to look at, maybe you have like an ASIN, you found something and you're like not sure if it's a winner, post it in chat. I'm happy to take a look at it. I'm happy to talk about it and tell you my thoughts on it. If I like it, if I dislike it, if I see any red flags, if I say, oh, no red flags. Yeah, whatever you need, I'm here to help. As far as sourcing camp goes, it is starting on the 6th. Tickets are on sale now. If you have not grabbed a ticket yet, you can scan that QR code, or if you can't scan the QR code, like you're watching this on your phone or something, just put a comment in the chat and I can personally send you a link for it. All right. Okay. Any questions about anything that I've done so far? Let me see. Randy, Ulta, amazing beauty sale. And yeah, and even better if you're a diamond member. Yeah. So Ulta also, like, you get those, like, I forget Ulta's word for it. I shop a lot at Kohl's, so I'm familiar with like getting Kohl's cash, like the store rewards. Ulta has that same thing. So if you're buying a lot of stuff from Ulta, that's stacking on top of these 50% off sales, on top of the Rakuten cashback, on top of your credit card cashback. Like there's so many layers that you can stack to build yourself sort of like a moat of margin around the product that you source, where other people just aren't utilizing all of those things, and so they're not buying all the stuff that you're buying. Okay. Renault, yes, not everything is a winner. Exactly. Yeah, and like it's kind of whenever you're on like YouTube or TikTok, things like that, like no one wants to make a video of them sourcing and then not finding anything, and no one's really going to click that either. Like it's the nature of social media. You don't want to see failures, right? You want to see how people are actively doing it and doing it successfully. And so that makes sense. Like, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but the outcome of that is if you only see people finding winners and you are not finding winners, you're going to start to think there's something wrong with you, or that the grass is greener over there. It's like, oh, you know what? They're finding stuff because they bought XYZ tool, or they did this other thing that I'm not doing. Like, no, usually they're finding stuff because they're just putting in the hours. They're also hitting a lot of dead ends. They're also banging their head into the wall. They're also finding hundreds of duds, but they're doing it so much that they eventually are finding winners, and then they share those winners on a video. All right, Eric on YouTube says, I'm having a tough time justifying keeping a VA. What are the highest ROI tasks for a VA? I can source better, but I just don't have that much time. So I've got an interesting idea for you, Eric. Again, I have a whole bonus session talking about this a little bit more in depth, but Eric, I'm assuming if you are paying for a VA that you are also paying for a listing service such as Inventory Lab or ScanPower. If you are not paying for a listing service, then yes, get rid of your VA and get a bookkeeping and record keeping service like that. But I'm gonna continue with my advice, assuming that you use one of those tools. Inside those tools, you can create custom MSKU rules. MSKU is like what you name your item on your side of things. So like the customer doesn't see it, Amazon doesn't care. It's your own like tag for an item. If you have set nothing up, your items just get random like QXWYZ4 whatever. Like that's the MSKU. But you can set up some custom rules. So what you can do if you are having trouble keeping your VA is you can get rid of this whole like, oh, I feel like they're making money or I feel like they're not finding stuff that's making money. You can quantify that data by tagging every single product that your VA finds when you buy it and you list it under your like custom MSKU rules. Have a section of that be for the like supplier name, and under supplier put their name. So if like, let's just say your VA is named John, okay? You could put John, Ulta, today's date, the buy cost, all that. Like you can put all of that information inside of it. And so then later on, you can look at your supplier profitability tab. This is in regards to Inventory Lab. ScanPower has a very similar setup. You can look at supplier profitability and you can have quantifiable data that backs up, oh, I see here is every product that I purchased because of John, and here is all of the stats for it. Like here's the average ROI, here's the average profit, here's the total profit, here's all that stuff. So yeah, if it's a positive ROI and you would not have done that task yourself, well, then keep it. If it's a negative ROI, or if you got rid of him, you would then spend this time doing it yourself, okay, then get rid of him and do the stuff yourself. Sourcing is the most common task for a VA. And like highest ROI task, that's kind of hard to say because the only thing that we do that brings a return on our investment is purchase products. Everything else that a VA could do is like putting out fires or account maintenance stuff, which doesn't necessarily generate a return. They're useful tasks, but you'd have to train them on that stuff. So like reconciling, like, okay, Amazon, I sent 40 units of this. Amazon said 19 units arrived. So someone has to check that, verify that. If there's a discrepancy, you have to tell Amazon there's a discrepancy, upload your receipts, explain to them what happened, show them your shipping weight, all that, whatever else. Like there's processes like that. There is, oh, I got an IP complaint. What do I do? Am I dealing with that? Have I trained a VA to deal with that? Have I outsourced that to some like agency that deals with that? So those are some other tasks, but for the most part, the most common thing to do is have them source. Yeah, it just comes down to like, if they weren't sourcing for you, would you be sourcing for you more? Are they spending money that you wouldn't have spent anyways? So that's sort of my advice there, Eric. And you're looking forward to camp. Sweet, man. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you. Starting real soon. That's the real thing. Not everyone finds a banger. Yep, exactly. Let's see. Looking forward to the class. I know Heather Cahill. She's very helpful with Amazon. Yeah, she's one of our camp counselors. Oh, and then you mentioned Walmart. We have a bunch of people who are now selling on Walmart as well. A lot of our content is geared around Amazon, but there are so many people that are starting to sell on Walmart. We have breakout sessions specifically for sourcing stuff to sell on Walmart and how sourcing for Walmart looks and works and how you can incorporate that. Like if you're already sourcing for Amazon, you might as well just click that extra button or look at that extra bit of data to see if something works on Walmart as well. So yeah, I love it. Let's see, any other questions? I think I've gotten them all from Facebook. I don't see anything else over there. I think that's about it from YouTube as well. If you guys are watching the replay of this, let me know. Feel free to drop more questions and I can pop back in and give you some more answers. Otherwise, we will see you tomorrow. I'm going to do another free sourcing video for you guys tomorrow evening. And if I don't see you at that, I hope to see you at Sourcing Camp, where it's coming up on September 6th. I've got the QR code up there. I will drop a link to it here in the chat in case you can't scan that. Let me see. I'll drop it over here in Facebook, and then I will drop it over here on YouTube. All right. So check that out if you're interested. If you have any questions about it, feel free, let me know. I hope to see you there. All right. Have a good night, everybody.